Hello and welcome to our first season of Digital Québec, Quebec City's digital magazine. I'm Sandra-Jessica Couturier. The goal of our show is to talk about the digital in Quebec City and to show the buzz around it. We're here during the Digital Week in Quebec at the WAC, the biggest francophone digital event in North America. This event brings people and speakers from all around the world. Is 100% feminine because the digital world is a man's world, so it's very important to show the work and presence of women in the digital world. My first guest today is Karine Boisvert from Lady Learning Code. Being a developer means that you find yourself in an environment where the majority of your colleagues are men. Today, I have Karine Boisvert to talk about the environment of men and the environment of women. And Karine is from Ladies Learning Code, right?
Yes.
And how did you get where you are today, Karine?
Actually, I have always been working in a men environment. I never really asked questions about it, as I don't know, I just took my place. And so I've been working in the military since 18 years. And I've been working geomatics and computer science programming. And 2 years ago, somebody approached me to start a chapter in Quebec City for Ladies Learning Code.
What is Ladies Learning Code?
This is a non-profit organization, Canadian. We are in 28 cities across the country. So it started 5 years ago. It was a woman who she was trying to learn programming by herself. And she found it difficult, and I'm sure there's a way to do it the most funniest way, accessible way.
Easy way.
Easy way, yes. So she just started a workshop one day, and she was with other friends, and it was sold out after a week. So they did another one, and it was sold out after 24 hours.
Oh,
so
wow.
There's a need, there's something there.
So what exactly does it do? Like when you become part of Ladies Learning Code, what's included? What's going on there?
For the chapter lead, we have to organize a workshop. So it's for women, but the men are welcome.
Okay.
But it's mostly for women because we want to have an environment where it's really like the women are not shy to ask questions, and it's really friendly. We're not taking that too seriously. So we're not gonna have a degree after that, but we're gonna have some competency. Mm-hmm. So to be more at ease and to take our place in many men environment.
How can it be changed for women to be more involved in that industry? Because I know it's starting already, but how can it become better and bigger?
Yeah, we need to involve the girls when they're young because there's many stereotypes. So we need to break the stereotypes so they're not afraid to come, or sometimes they think, oh, it's a men's place, so it's not interesting, it's not for me. Mm-hmm. So many when they are teenagers, this is where you start identifying yourself as a woman, as a young girl, and then as a future woman. And for that, they need us as a woman of today to take our place and to show the example. So they can say, yes, this woman has succeed, so I can do that too. And
what about you? Getting in that world, was it hard for you? Did you get judged by your family?
Today, not because they are used to it. But at the beginning, mainly with the military side of my life, they were really worried about it, and they were asking questions to know what it is. And my brother is a computer guy,
okay.
So he was the one that everybody was going to when they had problems, and I started doing it too, but I don't think they really see me as one of the programmers, because he was there before me.
They say that women are not interested in that kind of world. What do you think about that? Is it true, or is it because it's more of a men's world that women just stay away, or how does that work?
I think it's more like the stereotype what I was talking about, and also to be interested in something, you have to know that it exists and that you have to understand it. So if you don't at least try it, you cannot be interested. So, and in the school right now, there's nothing about the programming and computer in the program from the ministry. So this is the teacher in the school who has to take the initiative. So I think if there was more in the school, girls would be able to at least try it, so to make a better decision to go in the field they don't have.
When did all that start? Like for you, how exactly did you decide to become a programmer?
I didn't really decide. It was not like I'm gonna be a programmer tomorrow.
Okay.
So it was, I've been working geomatics, and my secondary task was to be in charge of the website.
Okay.
So I didn't have the training, so I did it with the team in the headquarters. Then after that, I did some managing, and I had my babies. And when you are on maternity leave, you start thinking about your future, what you want. And there was many women in my course, so I went back to school in development, web development.
Wow.
There was many women who were back from maternity leave too. So I don't know who you think about
so just
that.
Connected, yeah, it's just connected.
And I would like to keep doing some mapping, but I would like to do the web side of it, because we didn't learn that 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. So, and this is the future. So this is how I went back to school to learn it, and this is fantastic because today everything is on the web and there's so much we can do. Mm-hmm. And this is important for women because this is one place where we can take our place. And there's many blogs that this kind of a voice for some subject, for some women. Unfortunately, some women are being harassed through some subjects sometimes.
Oh, that's too bad.
So this is the same thing for the journalists, and sometimes, recently, there was some who just said, "That's enough. I can't take it anymore."
Yeah.
So, and also the future is all about programming. In our house, our fridge, our light, everything can be controlled through programming. And if we don't take the woman side of it, for example, when they started the voice recognition program, the woman voice were not taking account. So if you're a woman, you start talking to the whatever object you're talking to, it's not recognizing you. Oh. So that means that there was no woman in the team who built that.
Yeah.
So when they try it, same thing for...
So you kind of have to change all that and just adapt it to women.
Yes, like in the car, the first airbags, they were not done for women. We don't have the same shape, and the kids too.
Yeah.
So the first one, there was some people who died because they didn't test it in many different kind of people.
Yeah.
So we need diversity in all the company and all the project for the future. And
wow, that's very interesting. Well, thank you very much, Karine, for your time.
Welcome.
Next, we'll talk about women voices in digital.
Digital technology unfortunately tends to invite its share of sexist comments, but it also thankfully creates many possibilities for women to express themselves. Je suis féministe is a blog about open, furious, and joyful discussions between young feminists. It was born out of the desire to break out of isolation and to give voice to the new generation of francophone feminists. Through letters, chronicles, and articles, women can express themselves in total freedom about matters that concern them, as well as their sisters in arms. And these women, they come from all over the French-speaking world. To know more, go to jesuisféministe.com. La Revengeance des duchesses is another feminist blog project. This one reinvents the concept of duchesses during the carnival. With the duchesses, substance is more important than style. During the 2 weeks of Carnaval de Québec, the revengeful duchesses use their creativity, their talent, and their voice to speak about their communities, using video, poetry, fiction, drawings, comics, and photography. Everything is permitted. Irreverent, truthful, joyful, the Revengeance is a light mockery of centralization, a great ode to feminine diversity. To follow your duchesses, go to revengeanceduchesses.com.
Some say that women aren't fit for digital and networking. Others say that they're too emotional. Is it really a question of their work or their emotions? To talk to us today, I have Caroline Roy-Blais and Marjorie Champagne. Ladies, tell us what you do in the digital world.
I'm part of the team of Je suis féministe blog, which is a blog of francophone for French young feminists.
Okay. And what exactly does that do?
We have more than 30 bloggers, and it's a corresponding blog about feminism.
Okay, and what about
And I'm the co-founder of the blog Revengeance des duchesses. It's a platform where you can publish text, video, pictures about Quebec City, but it's a feminine blog. So.
Okay, and what is the difference? What, like, say it'd be a men's blog. What's the difference between a feminine and a men?
I think the importance is to give a place to express ourselves as a woman. Mm-hmm. The more place you can express will be the better, I think.
Yes,
so
definitely.
whatever is, if it's a blog or if it's a newspaper or if it's a cinema, or I think that's the main purpose of this initiative. Yes.
Okay, and do you guys get intimidated on those networks?
Of course.
Do men come and tell you off, or how does it work?
Well, we presume it's men, but we don't know.
You never know, okay.
You never know, but many of the trolls that comes are signing their comments with masculine names, so we assume
that it's a man. Yeah.
Some say that we should go back to the kitchen, we should stay in
really?
our place or everything. Yes.
And what would you say to like the young women that are living that kind of intimidation right now?
Oh, I think the main thing to do is to talk about it and to not just to accept it, because if you accept it, it's like it's not bothering you. You let the troll doing this, and they will continue. You know.
Yeah.
If you don't say anything, they will continue. So you have to talk about it loud.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got to make yourself heard, right?
Yeah. But another example, I'm doing a feminist chronicle at CKIA. It's a radio station in Quebec. And for example, somebody told me that I will lose my boyfriend because of what I say, or I don't.
Why though? Why?
I think the purpose there is I don't exist without my boyfriend. So. It's a big thing to say that to someone, because I don't exist as a woman, as an entity, as an individual person.
So it's big intimidation.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
But my boyfriend is a feminist too, so.
There you go. So you're all set.
That's what I told to the boy that's saying that to me.
Yeah.
My boyfriend is feminist, so.
And talking about boys, what do you guys would tell like the younger boys these days? Like how would you approach that?
I have a boy. He's 12 years old. Okay. And so my tactic is to use YouTube, because he's on YouTube very much.
Okay.
He's a teenager, so he likes very much YouTubers and Netflix, and so I use this kind of thing, this kind of media to educate, teach him. Yeah. So there is YouTubers.
Feminist YouTubers.
Boys.
Really?
Yes, boys. So it's really effective. On Netflix documentary, Audrey and Daisy, it's a good way to, a documentary about girl power on Télé-Québec was another thing that I does, and he likes it very much, and he was like a star in his eye, and what the heck? He understands.
Yeah.
But we have to educate young men. That's very important.
Definitely. That's why I was asking the question.
Education is the key.
Yeah, it is the key. It is the key, especially because digital is growing very fast, and that's our world today, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the difference between like a man's comment and a woman's comment?
For some men, when a woman takes a public statement or anything, it's kind of you're stealing his place.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So he wants you to go back to your kitchen or whatever, so he can get that place. For a woman, it's more like, oh, I wouldn't do that like that, or you should do this, or it's the difference, but it's towards women.
Yeah, exactly. And how would you guys educate younger women?
Just to take them their place.
Just to go ahead and do what they have to do and speak up.
Speak up and be proud, be yourself, be whatever you want to do.
And by doing it ourselves, like I think it's a model role.
Yes, definitely,
also.
definitely.
So to have another models than princesses or they don't have many models that talks girls. They don't have many. So we have to do that.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's important to educate, definitely.
Yeah, and
definitely.
to not to educate young girls different than young boys.
No,
you know?
yeah.
I don't think
it should be the same education. No, I agree with you guys. Yeah. And what about your blog, I Am Feminist? You've been doing that since 2008. How has it changed since then?
It's changed a lot.
I bet.
Yes, because in the beginning we had, it was all the blog were shorter, and it was like, oh, this happened and it's sexist for this reason, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Now it's more sophisticated, I would say.
Okay.
That we have more research behind each blog.
Each blogs, yeah.
So and
each
we
text,
have,
yeah.
Yes, exactly, and we have many younger women that.
Oh, that's very good.
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
And I think that it changed, but it's not changing. Like Simone de Beauvoir, the writer and the feminist, and she does very great work, but she was criticized at the time for her body or for her sexual
It's all about
integrity.
sexism. Yeah.
So why you don't comment about the work? Is it so difficult to talk about the work of a woman?
Because they would have to admit that it's good.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So that's
exactly. True. And how did digital bring women to speak up?
Thanks to the Facebook, Twitter, and all the digital media, we can organize.
Okay.
We can.
So you guys are more free to speak
We can
what-
talk
say
to
what you
each
need to do.
other.
to
Okay.
each other and have safe space.
Okay, yeah.
You know, talk to the
Yeah.
other feminist, and to not to be afraid to be attacked by a troll or something like
Yeah.
that.
Thank you very much, ladies. That was very interesting. Next, I will see Valérie St-Jean from 4 Elements.
Digital technology undoubtedly facilitates networking, on a small as well as large scale. In Quebec City, Femmes Alpha is a community that puts forward women's leadership and propels women into the entire French-speaking world. It invites women to share common experiences amongst themselves and gives them the tools to develop new skills and leadership by way of workshops and blog articles. Femmes Alpha also uses its digital media to promote women from here and any francophone country in the world, their projects, their ideas, and their experiences, to help these strong and inspirational women. Above all, Femmes Alpha encourages women to help each other, to unite, as much virtually as in person through their networks, digital media, meetings, and networking events. To find this community of alpha females, visit femmesalpha.com.
There aren't many women entrepreneurs in this world, but there's some, even though sometimes they seem invisible, and the digital world isn't different. Today I have with me Valérie St-Jean from 4 Elements. Hi, Valerie.
Hi.
I'm going to ask you short questions and you answer short answers. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
How did you figure out you wanted to become an entrepreneur?
It really happened by mistake, actually. So I started working in this company, and then I figured out, well, I think I am an entrepreneur.
Okay, and why digital?
Why digital? Because it's a way of changing the world. I think we can do nice things, and we can tell great stories with digital.
Okay, and do you have a mentor, somebody that just pushed you in that way, or somebody that you look up to?
I guess it would be my mom. She was really a go-getter. So when she had a vision or when she had something in mind, she would go get it.
Okay, and what does 4 Elements do?
4 Element is a multimedia, multi-production firm. So with 4 Elements, with sound, light, interactivity, and the story, we tell story with multimedia.
Did you have to work harder because you're a woman?
Well, I think it's different. We have our different problems, and I would say it's guilt for women most of the time. You feel guilty when you're at home, you're not at work, and when you're at work, you feel guilty because you're not at home. But I think if you go through that, well, then you can be a better entrepreneur.
How do you think women can make more space into the digital world or to become an entrepreneur? Like, what can they do?
Well, I think we're more intuitive, and that helps when we do digital experiences because we really do something that's more intuitive, natural user interface, so people really get what we're doing fast.
Perfect.
And that's an advantage.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Valerie.
Thank you.
The end of our first episode. Today, our show was 100% women, and I'm very proud of their success. It's with those kind of efforts that women make a difference today. On our next show, we will talk about digital and health. I'm Sandra-Jessica Couturier. See you next time.